prep a ceramic coated car for another ceramic coating.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today we have this beautiful Toyota here, a friend of the channel brought this by. It has a coating on it already. It still looks good, but there's a few things that he would like to make even better. So we're gonna be recoating it, but before we can recoat it, we need to prep it, and that's what we're going to do in this video.
There are some basic steps that involve rinseless wash,
right?
That involve decontamination,
correct?
That involve polishing, that involve ceramic coating. These are basic, but we wanna make sure we do them in the right order and we do them the right way.
Right, and what we're doing in this video, yes, we're prepping it for a new ceramic coating, but also in this video, we will show you how to maintain your existing ceramic coating because they're actually the same steps.
Why don't we get started and explain what we're doing along the way, Ivan?
Exactly. First thing, rinseless wash in our buckets. Now, I just have water in here, so I need to put the rinseless wash in. I have 4 gallons in this bucket. That means 4 capfuls. Oh, it's a brand new bottle, so let's open it up. So 4 capfuls. And yes, our caps are not exactly half an ounce, they're a little less. That's not a problem. What we don't want you to do is put more in your bucket. Having a slightly weaker dilution is not gonna hurt anything. Having a too strong dilution, yeah, that's when the problem happens.
What's the problem?
You can get streaking. It's harder to dry. It's just, and a waste of product.
Well, because we don't want to give people instructions and then not give them precise instructions. So
right.
There's the overthinkers out there, of which I'm one, and be like, well, if it's not a half an ounce, why do you say a half an ounce? And if the cap is fine, should I use a half an ounce if I have a measuring cup? The questions have already begun, Ivan.
Right, half an ounce to a gallon maximum, 4 milliliters to a liter maximum, but 1 capful per gallon or 1 capful for every 4 liters is just fine.
So rinseless wash is truly like a super concentrate.
Yes. Very good, so I've got this ready to go. On your side, I think your buckets are ready to go as well.
Yes, sir.
And we're gonna pre-spray. Now the reason for pre-spraying is
we want to emulsify, we want to break down whatever could be on the surface. Now this is a pretty well-maintained truck, Ivan.
Right.
But anytime we're doing any kind of like Incredible Suds or rinseless wash, we always want to pre-treat the panel before we do the contact wash.
And you might hear slightly in the background, there's construction crews around here that are doing good work for themselves, good work for the city. We're getting fiber optic things being put in the ground for better internet, but at the same time, they're creating a lot of dust because they're cutting the concrete. So there's concrete dust all over this vehicle. We wouldn't want to start doing the contact wash without doing this stage.
As Ivan pre-treats the vehicle, I'm putting rinseless wash in my wheel bucket as well. I forgot to do that. I did it already in my wash bucket, but yeah, a lot of people might think, what solution do you put in your wheel bucket, Ivan?
Rinseless wash at 256 to 1, or 1 capful per gallon. We can see this is a very well-maintained vehicle. The rinseless wash is beating up like crazy, so great job on maintaining your vehicle, sir. The wheels though, they're in great shape, but the tires, yeah, they're looking a little sad. We're gonna give them, before the pre-treat, a little bit of our friend All Clean with just a smidge of Incredible Suds. The recipe is very simple. 120 ounces of water, 8 ounces of All Clean, and a capful of Incredible Suds. Now as Nick goes down memory lane, because he used to have one of these trucks.
I just checked the VIN, it's a 2017.
Yeah.
I had a 2018 Tundra. Like I was like, this guy's taking care of this, Ivan.
Very well. Yeah, definitely. You can tell there's a lot of love going into this truck.
It's proof that when you do the things that we teach, because he uses our products, your vehicle can stay really nice.
Yeah.
So Ivan, normally we do chemical, rinse chemical, but if it's not very dirty, we just put rinseless wash on, we do the contact wash. But you mentioned the concrete dust, so we're gonna stick with our kind of standard operating, safest possible way to wash a car procedure.
Tried, tested, proven. It works, it's simple, and at the same time, it's adding that extra layer of safety because of all the concrete dust that's outside from cutting. When this gentleman was dropping off his truck yesterday, they were cutting like 10 feet away from it. So we know it has concrete dust on it. We don't want to be rubbing that into the paint. This gentleman is a retired veteran. Thank you for your service. And at the same time, a very, very avid car care enthusiast. As you can tell, the beading is spectacular on this. The coating has been on this for almost 9 years. So it's been on here for a long time, but there's detail sprays involved on a regular basis here, as you can tell. So very good. We just love to see this. We haven't washed it yet. It's still dirty, technically. And we have all this great beading going on.
You know, Ivan, I'm noticing incredible water beading here. Should we just hit this with a legacy sponge and wipe it and call it a day?
No, so there are high spots on this vehicle that need to be taken care of, and there's minor scratching. Of course, the owner of this vehicle takes it hunting, takes it fishing. He goes out in the woods. We can see some minor scratches on it. He's got a few high spots on the other side that have been bugging him ever since he put the coating on. We're gonna take care of all of that for him.
And you might be like this guy where he just wants a new coating, right?
Yeah.
You don't need it, but like you may want it. You might want to recoat your car.
Yeah.
So we do this the right way.
That's the only way we do things. But actually, Nick, there's no right way to detail. There's a lot of really good ways. That's what we like to feature here. We don't do things the same every time. We do have a standard operating procedure, but there are variances here and there. Pre-spray with rinseless is done, emulsifying anything that could be remaining on there, starting to break down that traffic film, and now we do the contact wash.
One of the great joys of any detailing experience is to use the perfectly safe brush. Are you good with me getting the hood and the roof for you?
The hood, the roof, and also the tonneau cover, Nick.
Perfect. If you haven't used the perfectly safe brush, Ivan, what are you missing out on?
Simplicity, speed, safety, and just ease of use.
I've had a Tundra, and it was kind of a bear to clean. I wish I'd had the perfectly safe brush because it just glides over the surface. It's incredibly gentle, and yet it just is incredibly thorough as well. Treating one panel at a time, dunking back into my bucket, so kind of safe wash practices. And then I can do some of Ivan's work for him, which is always nice.
Yeah, and the other thing with the perfectly safe brush, it helps you to train your bucket to follow you because it's very easy to move the bucket along with the brush.
And were you saying he uses Envy after every wash? Because this paint is so slick right now.
Yes, he uses Envy and other detail sprays. So he was telling me yesterday about all the products he's tried on it.
Okay.
A true enthusiast. So
got it. Yep.
Always trying different products, always trying different things.
I can't see, am I reaching all the way over there?
Yep.
And then you just don't need a ladder, which I mean, it's nice to have a ladder. We'll use one eventually, but
yes,
for the wash process, this sure is nice. I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm using no pressure. Trying to generally go for about a 50-50 overlap. You can probably see on camera what I can't see with my own eyes. The aggressivity of the perfectly safe brush, I haven't talked about it.
It's actually our least aggressive wash media that we have. So it's the least likely to scratch, but it's also the one that if you have a very dirty vehicle, you probably don't want to use it because you're gonna have to go over the vehicle a couple times to get the dirt off. It's designed for a well-maintained vehicle, and this is definitely a well-maintained vehicle. I'm gonna be adding a little more all clean to the wheels and tires. That way I can get them cleaned off easily.
Hey, you're right, the bucket does just follow you along when you have the PSB, Ivan.
Exactly.
The perfectly safe brush.
That's part of the design. We want it to follow along. Of course, with any wash media, you always want to use the foam rinse foam or chemical rinse chemical, meaning that you put the chemical like we did with rinseless wash on first, rinse to get all the grit off the surface, then you're just dealing with traffic film for the wash. And in that case, the brush will take off all the dirt. But like I said, if you got very heavy traffic film, you might need to go over the area twice.
So I'm just getting the front bumper here. The perfectly safe brush never lets me down, Ivan. And what I love it is on big horizontal surfaces like the hood and the roof, right? The tonneau cover, but it's also great into these grills. They can be so challenging to clean sometimes. You wonder how to get into every little nook and cranny. Our wheel and body brush and perfectly safe brush are both fantastic for front grills. Also super gentle, also able to get in all these crevices. It's just so nice to know you're doing this safely and effectively.
Exactly.
Are we changing any process here knowing that we're gonna polish this paint? Are we getting a little sloppy with the wash? Are we letting the perfectly safe brush or the legacy sponge go on 6 panels instead of 1 before we dunk? Since we know we're gonna polish, right?
No, safety remains the same at all times. Respect for the vehicle stays the same.
What's your wheel cleaning process over there?
Same as always, Nick, which means start with the face of the wheel, then go into the barrel. The reason we start with the face, very simple. Any dirt that's on here, we're gonna be brushing, taking it away. Then when we go to do the barrels, that's where you actually have a lot more dirt, maybe stuck in there. And if you're pulling it out to the surface and then brushing afterwards, that's when you're gonna be potentially scratching the surface. Starting at the top of the wheel and working my way down when I'm doing the barrel, dunking when I've used 2 sides of the brush. And even the barrels are super clean on this truck, so great job.
Some might be wondering why we're not using a stiffer bristle tire brush. This wheel and body brush works equally as well on the face of the wheel as well as the tire. You know, Ivan, I have a question for you. Should we be using a stiffer bristle brush? Should we be deep cleaning the tires in a more aggressive way? You know, what say you?
No, you don't want to be using a stiff brush on your tires. People over clean their tires. We don't want to over clean it. The dirt that's on the tire is the same dirt that's on the wheel. And actually you probably have a lot more dirt on this rocker panel than you ever will on your wheel and tire because they're getting dirt thrown up on them from the wheel and from the tire. If your tire is very brown because it's been neglected for a long time, you might want to do a second pass, but a little bit of browning actually isn't a bad thing because there's anti-ozonants in the tire, and that's what they do. Let them come to the surface, that's fine. Your tire dressing will take care of it. And yes, your tire dressing will actually last longer if you leave some of that browning on the wheel than if you try to remove all of it. The body's washed, the wheels are clean, the tires are clean. Now it's time to do the decontamination. We're gonna be recoating this vehicle, but this is also the same steps that you'd be using if you're just trying to maintain your coated car or even an uncoated car. Using our quad fold decontamination towel and a bit of iron remover.
What's the logic behind this, Ivan?
The logic is very simple, Nick. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll take the iron remover and spray it everywhere on the surface. That costs a lot of money. This is not a cheap chemical. The other thing is the iron remover actually doesn't remove iron. It is a rust converter. It converts the iron to rust. And on a black car, you won't see those little rust stains. On a white car, you definitely see them. What we're doing at this point is the decontamination towel is removing that little iron particle, leaving behind just the rust stain for this to work on. And super simple, 1 spray in the towel, 1 spray on the panel, match them up, and then we decontaminate.
And we decontaminate plastics too, which is maybe what you heard over here.
Yeah.
Folks may not think, oh, I'm decontaminating my plastics, my glass. Why do this everywhere, Ivan?
Because you have contamination everywhere. It accumulates on every surface of the vehicle. And it's not a long process to do. It's very simple, it's very quick, very easy, and true to form. Again, super well-maintained vehicle. I don't feel any contamination on this. But just because we don't feel it doesn't mean it's not there. Quad fold towel, meaning that after every section, I fold to a new area and carry on.
Ivan, a wise man once said, if you can't see it, it's not there, which is why we ignore the roof, right? When we're 5'8".
Yeah, you don't ignore the roof, you do the roof. It's just as important, and actually a little more important. Paint failure starts normally to be seen on the roof of a vehicle and the hood. The reason for that is not because of sun exposure, it's because of the dirt that's on the surface starts to work its way into that clear coat, breaking it down. And if you're not washing your roof, if you're not decontaminating your roof on a regular basis, you are going to get paint failure. This is a truck that's almost 10 years old. Look at the condition of the paint. It's pristine, it's beautiful, it's well maintained.
Well, it's one of those, if I'm getting paid as a professional to detail, I'll never skip the roof, but if it's my vehicle, I may be a little more negligent, and it's a good reminder that we gotta take care of every surface on the vehicle. And that's why we have a ladder or a step stool, right?
Yep. So you've got a ladder on your side, I've got the platform on this side. Please do not be climbing over the vehicle.
One thing is worth reminding if you've never done this process before, I mean, in life, pressure tends to get results. So if I push harder, let's say I'm scrubbing my countertop at home. There's a piece of stuck food there. If I scrub harder, the food gets dislodged, right? You do not want to put pressure on this decontamination towel.
No.
Countertop at home is not the same as our car paint.
No, exactly. No pressure is the right pressure. Just glide the towel over the surface.
And if it's not moving, then what do you do? Like a piece of, let's say on white paint, looks like a little rust spot. It's not moving, I gotta put pressure on it, it's not moving, what do I do?
Let it sit, go to another area of the vehicle, do that other area, and then come back to it. Let the chemical do the work for you. A little bit of contamination on this door. Now on the bottom of the door, it has gravel guard on it. So it's like a very, very textured paint. That's why you're hearing this. Nothing to worry about.
How would you do this process in direct sunlight, Evan?
The same as what we're doing here. Our iron remover, our rinseless wash, all of this can dry on the surface in direct sunlight. Now, as you're starting to use the decontamination towel on a panel, if it's dry, apply a little more rinseless with the sprayer or your sponge or your brush, then do this. We're using the lubrication, the combination of the rinseless wash and the iron remover here. Question we often get, what about paint protection film? This has PPF on it. Not an issue. Your clear coat is plastic, so is your PPF. And we have chrome, we do the chrome as well.
Ivan, I'm just kind of marveling at what a well-maintained vehicle this is.
Yes.
Like it is just smooth under the touch, pristine water beading. Again, I would say let's just put some NV ceramic sealant on here and call it a day, but we have work to do.
We have work to do because it has high spots that have been there for years. And we're not done the decontamination yet. We also have water spot remover, and a lot of people miss this step. They think, I don't have water spots, I don't need water spot remover. Think of it as a mineral cleanse. There are minerals that are on your vehicle from driving, from washing, from all sorts of things. We want to get rid of those minerals so when we do start to polish, we're really dealing with a pristine, clean surface. Water spot remover is not something you need to spray a lot on the vehicle. You just need to get enough because we'll be spreading it with a nice, damp microfiber towel. So like the iron remover that we only used an ounce or two, same thing, we'll be using very little of this.
Just a light mist. We're kind of just putting it at, we're not going all the way to the right. We're not doing this, right? We're going that nice wide fan and we're just, boom. Ivan, I always put too much product on. Is there anything wrong with too much water spot remover?
Not really, other than you're wasting product and time. Using a rinseless dampened towel, and you want to wring it out not once, but twice. We want to make sure that it's actually not wet. Then from there, we spread the water spot remover over the surface. We're not trying to remove it. We're just agitating a little bit. We're spreading it over the surface. Again, no pressure, making sure to get everywhere. And you don't want to flip your towel.
I mean, can I do this wrong? What can I mess up here?
Well, using too much product. The other thing that you can mess up is flipping your towel after every panel. Because again, we're not trying to remove it from the surface, we're trying to spread it. And at this point, we've washed, we've decontaminated, we've done mechanical decontamination. The only thing left on this paint is minerals. So we don't need to be flipping the towel after every panel.
Gotta love a jackhammer while filming, Ivan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear this on camera. We'll try to cancel it out, but just a reminder that there's a lot of life out there to be lived, but detailing is worth taking the time out.
It is.
I often think, I never regret cleaning my car. Like I always feel better afterwards. Even when there's distractions and other things going on.
Yeah.
Make time to detail your car. It's worth it.
You want to make sure to spread that mineral cleanse everywhere. So I'm getting in under these vent visors and all of that. We want it everywhere on the surface.
One thing I've noticed, Ivan, it's a lot harder to move this around when your towel gets really wet. So I just wrung mine out, and it's way easier to move it on the panel.
Exactly.
Another question I always ask is, like, there's a lot of guys who guys and gals, they don't have a garage.
Right.
So give me the sunlight-friendly tips here. I don't want this to dry on the sun, do I?
It's not going to harm it. Now, it's only active when it's wet, but at the same time, if you are working in the sun, do 1/2 of the vehicle or 1/4 of the vehicle at a time. It's not that big of a deal. If you don't have any water remaining on it, maybe spritz a bit of rinseless wash on there, then add your water spot remover, then do the agitation. And if it dries after that, not a big deal. It's going to rinse away nice and clean.
There's a sweet spot too where dwell time is helpful.
Yes.
But you don't want it to dry, ideally, right? So it's like, it's nice in a shop because we can kind of let it dwell. But yeah, you can just reactivate it.
Right, and you're not going to wait until it dries to rinse it off. If it's been on here, 4 or 5 minutes, that's all you ever need. And the agitation is actually what's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us. When we're done with this towel, we do not put it back in our wash bucket because the acidic nature of the mineral cleanser water spot remover can damage your wash media. So we don't want to put it back in there. We actually keep a bucket here just for this, just for fresh water. We put them in there and they're good to go. Wow. Now what happened there rarely happens, and that is the tip came off. Now, I've been using this gun. We haven't changed tips. We haven't removed any tips from it since we started working with this vehicle, and it just came off now. When I put it on the ground, it could have just touched it a little bit, just enough to unsecure it. So always make sure it's secure and always start aiming off the vehicle. Very important lesson there. Of course, we're gonna add quick beads to the wheels. Makes them easier to dry, keeps them nice and clean. Spread it around using the pressure washer, then you're good to go.
Now, we are going to use quick beads on the wheels, Ivan, even though we're ceramic coating this vehicle. Tell me about the grill, because you could spend an hour just ceramic coating every nook and cranny of a grill.
Yes.
You've always been a fan of quick beads. How do I do this right? How do I do this wrong?
So we just want to spread a little bit on here, and when I'm using the pressure washer, I'm going to spread it in. Now, there's 2 ways of doing it. There is spraying it on, so do that half spraying it on.
So would I like block it with my hand? Like how?
Don't worry, we'll be polishing it. That'll remove any quick beads residue.
Okay.
That's one way of doing it, and basically you want to spread it with the pressure washer. You don't want to rinse it down. Then when we're done, we rinse down to get any excess off. But there's another way of doing it, Nick. If you have a super intricate grill, this one's not too bad, but if you have something that's really hard to get at, another way is spraying it into the stream of the pressure washer. That way, you're sure to get it everywhere.
Ivan did 2 sprays of quick beads, I did 4.
Yeah.
Both work?
Both work. This one I'm gonna have to rinse maybe a little bit more. You want to rinse till the sudsing effect is gone. When you're done with your pressure washer, turn it off, turn the water off, and then drain the pressure out of the hose. It'll make it a lot easier to wind up on the reel. I'm using a junk towel or a towel we're not going to use on a vehicle anymore. Every time I roll this up, I'm making sure it's clean, going back on the roll. That way your pressure washer hose stays clean, but at the same time, it's not abrading itself in the roll there.
Ivan, if you have a high quality microfiber towel, from DIY Detail, you can't do this step wrong.
No.
I've got the drying blanket, you know, it's on par with me. Bigger is better, more is better. And on par with you, you've got a little bit less.
Yeah, so our mini twist towels, it's all you really need. Now, one thing with this vehicle, we're not putting a drying aid on. If we wanted to, we could add a bit of rinseless wash as a drying aid, but we're not putting Envy on here. And the reason we're not putting Envy ceramic detail spray is simply because we're going to be polishing and coating this. There's no need for it. Any marring that we might accidentally introduce in this step, which we won't, but it will be polished off in the first pass of the polish.
It's worth noting that a properly decontaminated vehicle is easier to dry.
Yeah.
If you haven't done this a lot, it may not kind of register to you. There's words and then there's experience. And when you experience it, it just makes sense. It's like, oh, I use water spot remover. For whatever reason, the paint is easier to dry. Why is that, Ivan?
Well, the paint's easier to dry because you don't have contamination on it. And microfiber towels, when they get a little damp, actually absorb better. Now the grill, we're gonna use a leaf blower to get the excess moisture out of there and a couple areas, but we want to towel dry before we leaf blow. We want to get the majority of the moisture off before our water here is a little over 500 TDS. So that's total dissolved solids. There's a lot of stuff in our water and we don't want to be blowing it dry, because if you blow it dry, what you're actually doing is moving some of the moisture away, but at the same time, some of it you're drying on the surface, leaving minerals behind. The last thing we want to dry in the vehicle is a tonneau cover because of all this sitting water. We don't want to get too much water in our towels first.
That's good advice, Ivan. You've been doing this for a while?
Almost 50 years.
There's a lot of real estate to dry on a Tundra.
Yes, there is. I'll let you handle the tonneau cover, Nick, with that huge towel of yours.
Yep.
The drying blanket can actually hold a gallon of water. See how sopping wet this towel is, yet it absorbs everything off the surface.
I've made the mistake before where I do the tonneau cover first, and then my towel gets a little bit wetter than I wanted to. So yeah, great advice to save the tonneau cover till last. Ivan, the car is shiny. It is slick under the drying towel. Again, I'm ready to just call it a day, but we have more work to do.
Right. Now, does it need a new coating? No, this one is still performing great. Does the consumer want a new coating? Definitely. The reason they want a new coating, first, they want to upgrade technologies. Secondly, there are some high spots that have been bugging the owner for a couple of years now, ever since he put the coating on. And there are minor little scratches and swirls here and there. We'll take care of all of that in the next video. But in the meantime, there's another video you should be watching with an even bigger truck than this one.
Ooh.
And it's right here.